Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome to the Many a True Nerd Anniversary Special, because we've been doing this for 11 cocking years at this point, and, okay, this year, I've got something very special indeed for you, because, okay, it's somewhat traditional for me to just mosey into the kitchen and then set fire to our aforementioned kitchen while trying to make a pancake or something, but this year, we had something way more exciting happening at the exact moment of the anniversary, because on anniversary day itself, which is May 27th, we actually expanded the Many a True Nerd family, adding 2 new members, and today you get to meet them too. So join me in welcoming the Many a True Kittens. So, right, what you're seeing right now is day 1, this last Monday, anniversary day. The footage you're seeing right now was taken literally hours after these guys arrived in Many a True Nerd headquarters, and what you're seeing is them inside their kitten nursery, because it's pretty standard when you get a new kitten to initially just keep them in one room, at least at first. And these guys are really tiny. They are only 8 weeks old. And, okay, I should say right now, by the way, because they were very small, we didn't want to, like, you know, go putting lighting and camera equipment in their faces. So everything you're seeing here was just recorded in whatever light was available using a camera phone, so we didn't freak them out. So I apologise if, you know, the quality and lighting is not quite up to the usual anniversary video standards. We just wanted to, you know, make sure we weren't disturbing them while we were filming. So, okay, just in case you're not familiar with, like, you know, adopting kittens and the idea of a cat nursery and whatnot, basically, all you need to do is provide a single room where the cats have got everything they want. So, you know, toys to keep them entertained, their food, their water, a litter tray, and lots of places to hide and investigate, because this is basically going to function as, like, their home base, a safe space they can retreat to as they explore the rest of our home once that becomes available to them. So yeah, for the time being, this was just where they were living, and these 2 are sisters from the same litter who were fostered together. So okay, let's take, you know, a quick closer look at each of them. So there's a black cat who's got some slight grey markings around her face and chest that I suspect are going to become a bit more prominent when she grows up. So, you know, we'll see about that over time, who was immediately the more confident of the 2. The other cat, the tabby, she's a tiny bit smaller, she was a tiny bit more cautious at first, but they do indeed love each other very much, and very often when they go to sleep, they will do it together in a pile, which is adorable. And yes, indeed, at this point, Ted wasn't actually allowed in the nursery because, you know, they were getting settled. We just wanted to make sure things were as peaceful for them as possible. So he was stuck outside for the time being, but don't worry, he was receiving many bribes in the form of food and toys and whatnot. His new T-Rex toy especially is really big and really damn awesome. So, okay. Let's move time forward a bit, because yeah, you're going to be seeing footage from every day this last week as they were getting settled in. So we're now moving forward into day 2. And you may notice as the videos go on, they're getting a lot more active as they get a bit more confident, settled in, comfortable, etc, etc. So, okay, let's take this moment to cover off the history of the newest members of the Many a True Nerd family. So somewhere around the end of, March 2024, a litter of kittens was born in a barn, and unfortunately, for reasons we'll never know, they seem to have been immediately abandoned by their mother, but were luckily found shortly after that. Sadly, they were malnourished and not in good shape at the time, so they were taken straight to a local animal charity who got them straight into the home of an experienced kitten fosterer who nursed them back to health, and that was when we first heard about them. Because Claire and I have been thinking about adopting kittens for a very long time, so we let a load of local shelters know we were available, but there was, like, you know, a bit of a small issue. And that was Ted, because many cats just aren't able to be placed in a home with a dog. And Ted is, you know, a bit loud. In fact, you may have heard him bark during the live streams previously. So luckily for us, the fosterer had 2 very large dogs. So these kittens were raised alongside German Shepherds pretty much from newborn. So, okay, fast forward a couple of months to the end of May. The kittens are now 8 weeks old, which is the typical age of kittens ready to be adopted into a new home. So after a quick vet check to ensure they were, you know, a healthy weight and fully recovered, etc, etc, we picked them up and brought them home. And, okay, I'd just like to take a minute now to encourage you all to support your local animal charities if you can, because the day we picked up our kittens, the fosterer had literally just taken in a newborn litter that she was hand-feeding every few hours, day and night. Like, they do wonderful work and work really hard. So, yes indeed, as I was saying, it's now day 2, and we're starting to get a bit of a sense of their personalities. So, the black cat, who we codenamed Tungsten on Twitter, she kept being, very adventurous, and she was demonstrating a fine propensity towards acrobatics, repeatedly leaping on and off things, and as a result, we've decided to name her Xena. And the tabby, previously codenamed Titanium, she was definitely a lot calmer. In fact, arguably a tiny bit timid. She was following her sister's lead a lot, and we kind of felt like she almost had the personality of, a bit of a geeky sidekick. So we decided to name her Willow. And yes, Claire and I did indeed watch a whole bunch of nerdy TV in the 90s. So, time is moving on, it's now midweek. And obviously the kittens can't stay in the nursery forever. But before they can explore, we've got to be certain that they get on with Ted, and that neither poses a risk of scaring or harming the other. And luckily, they figured it out extremely quickly. The kittens were immediately fine with Ted's presence. Like, they were raised alongside much bigger and louder dogs. But Ted actually struggled a tiny bit on the very first introduction. He seemed very agitated, there was a lot of barking, but we figured out pretty quickly the problem wasn't actually the kittens. It was that they were in a separate room he couldn't get to, and he was feeling excluded when we went in to spend time with them, because Ted does get a bit anxious when it comes to separation from his humans. So once we just put him on a lead and just let him in to investigate, as you can see, he was really content to just sit there and watch them, and very soon after that was comfortable enough to go to sleep alongside them, though he did sometimes need a toy as a bit of a comfort blanket to make him feel better. And that brings us to this morning, and as you can now see, everybody's happy cuddling together, and the door behind them is wide open. The cats are now pretty much exploring freely, though only inside, as cats aren't allowed outside until they're a fair bit older. Oh, and Xena immediately lived up to her name by flying up and down the stairs, while Willow hasn't actually figured out how stairs work yet, which is just bloody adorable. So yes indeed, ladies and gentlemen, that there is the reason why, there hasn't been a live stream the past couple of weeks, why I may have been, a bit quiet on social media, etc, etc. I've just been hanging out with, kittens and a dog for most of this week. It's been lovely, I've had a marvellous time, but yes indeed, now they're starting to settle in, explore more freely. In general, everyone's just getting along well. We'll be getting back to normal next week, so live streams should be back, and normal videos should be back, etc, etc, but yes, indeed. I think this is, probably my favourite anniversary we've ever had in the history of the channel, because this is the first one where we literally adopted 2 new members of the family on the anniversary day, and that's especially nice, actually, because you may recall 2 years ago we didn't do the 9th anniversary special because that was pretty much, just after when Tabby passed away, so it's really nice 2 years on to now be welcoming 2 new kittens to the family, and the anniversary be a cat celebration as opposed to something a lot more sad. So yes indeed, this is just, a quick look at what's going on in Many a True Nerd headquarters with our brand new kitten friends. That's the anniversary update. Hopefully you've enjoyed that, just looking at some lovely kittens and Ted. It's just, it's been a damn fine week. Hopefully you've enjoyed that, and hopefully, yes indeed, there are many, many kitten photos and updates to come in the live streams and whatnot, so hopefully you're looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been the Many a True Nerd Anniversary Special. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
She was Xena, a mighty princess forged in the heat of battle.
Claire, show off what the butter packaging does. That's amazing!
25, 50, 100, and then 110
If you need to provide the butter, you just fold the packaging onto the butter and it... that's amazing! That's such a good idea!
See,
How long has butter been doing this?
forever.